Hi, it's Jennifer Harding-Marlin, a citizenship by investment and residency by investment attorney. If you'd like to get weekly updates, you can sign up for our newsletter, Passport to Possibility, and I'll put the link in the description below. Today's video is going to talk about El Salvador. We have an increasing number of people that are asking us questions about El Salvador. So this video is going to talk more about the country and its current citizenship by investment program, as well as a potential program that will be launched in the near future. As well, myself and a member of my team will be in El Salvador in the month of November. We'll be attending Bitcoin Historico and adopting Bitcoin. So if you'd like to meet with us in person, make sure to get in contact with us in advance. We'd be happy to meet up with you. We plan to spend time in the capital as well as potentially at Bitcoin Beach. I spent a month there, living there last year, and I really loved my time in El Salvador. And so I look forward to meeting some of you in person. So one of the reasons why you may want to consider relocating to El Salvador is that El Salvador was the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. You can live, work, and transact in Bitcoin. And so if you're someone that's a really big Bitcoin believer and you believe in the philosophy of the country and the direction that the country is going in, and you want to be able to spend your Bitcoin, then there's opportunities to do so in El Salvador. So El Salvador has attractive residency and citizenship program, and there may be also as well launching an up-and-coming program. Its citizenship program is very high priced. It's priced at $1 million US, which can either be paid in Bitcoin, USDT, and or US dollar via wire transfer. The advantages to being a citizen is that you have the right to live, work, travel freely within the country, and you can use it as a travel document to have access to more global mobility. As well, we're seeing a lot of the investors that do go through with citizenship is because they want to build businesses long-term within the country. As well, they support the development of the country and the direction in which the country is going. At the moment, there are different avenues for doing residency in El Salvador. There's 3 primary ways of going about doing it. So one of the disadvantages, though, of doing the El Salvador residency is that you do have to be committed to physically relocating there and spending approximately 8 months in El Salvador every year. So if you're someone that's a digital nomad that bounces around from place to place, it's not necessarily the most ideal place for doing residency. However, there may be changes to the different citizenship and residency options that are coming. And so we look forward to spending time in El Salvador and getting all the details so that we can update you on all the details for relocating to El Salvador through either doing through citizenship program or residency program and new developments that are coming. So another reason to consider El Salvador is that there's security and governance. While El Salvador was known in the past for having high crime rates and gang violence, the president has done a great job of ensuring that there's more security in the country. And having personally spent a lot of time there and gotten around the country alone at times, it's very, very safe. Lots of people are choosing to go there with their families and relocate there with their families. There's opportunities for schooling and activities for kids, and it is a generally safe environment to be in. Obviously, every country, there's crime in every country, but it is much, much safer, and people really pride themselves on the safety in El Salvador. So another reason to consider relocating to El Salvador is its lifestyle and affordability. So there's lots of volcanoes and natural beauty, beaches. If you're big into surfing, there's a lot of different activities that are pro the outdoors. So this could be a reason why you may want to wish to consider to relocate there with your family. As well, the cost of living, it's more cost effective and affordable compared to the United States or Canada. So you may want to consider relocating to El Salvador for business and tax advantages. If you're trying to build a business that's in blockchain, that involves Bitcoin, there's a lot of leading entrepreneurs and tech companies and incentives for tech companies to relocate to El Salvador. As well, there is tax incentives and no tax on Bitcoin, for example, in certain situations. And therefore, depending on how you structure your investments and structure your income, there can be tax incentives and tax advantages. Obviously, it's important to do an analysis of your specific case to ensure that you have no tax or minimal tax, but there are tax advantages to being based in El Salvador. Another reason why you might want to consider El Salvador is the cultural identity and community, especially if you're in Bitcoin. There's a growing Bitcoin community. There's a growing number of persons that are really positive and excited about life and excited about building and making El Salvador the best country in the world. Locals are very friendly in my experience, and the experience of other clients of ours that have spent time in El Salvador. So there is a growing, nice, family-friendly community in El Salvador. El Salvador has an emerging real estate market. A lot of people are excited about the future of the country and do think that more people will choose to relocate to El Salvador over time. And thus the property value in El Salvador will increase over time as there's more and more development and more people that choose to relocate to El Salvador. El Salvador is currently in the early stages of strategic transformation, and a lot of people want to be on the first wave of this strategic transformation and play a positive, impactful role in the development of the country and impact on the lives of people locally. Something I really liked when I did spend time in El Salvador was a lot of people are proactively involved in the community and giving back, whether that's to local libraries, teaching kids to play soccer and surfing, and providing lessons to students and kids in schools about Bitcoin and about finances. There's a growing surf community in El Salvador, so if you're big into surfing or you want to learn how to surf, there's lots of opportunities, whether that's at Bitcoin Beach in El Zonte or El Tunco or elsewhere throughout El Salvador. A lot of people will travel to El Salvador for surfing. I highly recommend it if you've never tried surfing to go out on the water and learn how to surf. It's so much fun. It's really hard. It's a lot harder than it looks, but it is a lot of fun, and it's an activity you can do while in El Salvador. And so there's a growing number of entrepreneurs and tech startups that are in and based out of El Salvador with more and more international talent. The country is really trying to attract international investors from around the world to build the country and make the country even better. If you go to the libraries, there's public libraries that are open that provide books and materials to educate yourself on finances. And there's a lot of growing opportunities for youth in the country. And so again, these are just some of the reasons why you may want to put El Salvador on your radar. English is increasingly spoken throughout the country. While Spanish is the main language, lots of people speak English, so you do have the ability to get around El Salvador if you do speak English. There's a focus on renewable energy and clean energy, and so I think there'll be a lot of growing developments in these sectors as well. What I love about El Salvador, it's not just its economic story, but its ideological one. A lot of people that are contacting us are philosophically aligned with the direction that the country is going in. I've met a lot of amazing people that live in El Salvador. It's a really great environment to be in. So if you're interested in getting more information about citizenship by investment, residency by investment, or have questions about El Salvador, you can visit our website at jhmarlin.com or send me an email at jennifer@jhmarlin.com. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. We will be in El Salvador during the month of November to attend some conferences and visit people that are in El Salvador. So if you'd like to meet with me or a member of my team, we'd be happy to schedule time to meet with you. Feel free to reach out in advance. All the best. Bye for now.